Hello everyone, Sage Bimbi here. And before we begin, I'd like to tell you a couple of things. We just rebranded. We'll only and simply be focusing on a few things. And since we rebranded, what we'll actually be talking about is this one thing. We'll be focusing on the number one is the man. And what on the man will we be focusing on? Here are the three simple things we'll be talking about. The reason why I'm doing this is because the boy child has been neglected and he often never gets a sense of direction. So, this is what we'll be solely focusing on throughout this channel and other social media platforms that are related to the Sage guy. So, we'll be talking about oopsies. And everything will be in regards to health. So the first thing is relationship health. Yes, we're talking about relationship health, like we've been doing throughout in the podcast. The next one we'll be talking about financial health, relationship, financial. Then we'll be talking about mental health. Yes, about physical health, we'll think of ways to be putting it in each and every one of these three. But at the moment, let's say we'll be focusing on just these three. And why is this? Because if you look at statistics, you find that men often struggle and they rarely know how to express it, or they end up not expressing themselves at all. So we'll start off with this aspect, because if you're not financial healthy, then your mental health will be in danger. And as sure as the sun will rise tomorrow, your relationships won't be as fruitful as you desire. Because you can take a good example is this, yeah. When you host a party, you buy everything, people will show up in mass numbers. But if you're broke, you don't have anything that will help you. Let's say you're financially struggling, people often don't go the way to come to you so that they can help you out. Usually struggle in getting yourself from the ground. So we'll start off with financial, then we'll be having episodes on mental and relationship health. This will be a lot on the podcast. For financial health will be YouTube and Instagram. Um, this thing I also maybe TikTok, but it'll be kind of hard considering that I rarely access that TikTok. This will be on all platforms. So since we're going to be starting with the financial aspect, this whole video will be completely focusing on financial. This will help guys get from point A to point Z. So ideally this will be the beginner episode for, not really the beginner, this will be the starting point to help you set your goals right, to help you get from point A to point Z at any place, anytime, so that I want to say ideally put you in the best position that it can in life. But I'll be lying to you, because you can have this set of information and it might end up not helping you. So let's just jump in. So there's a lot of stuff that usually happens. Personally, the people who, if you're in an African country or you have parents like mine, they take up education. By education, I mean school. They take this so seriously, in the sense that if you don't have good education, I'm putting it in quotes because education is not solely on school. Education is knowing something that a mass or another person doesn't know. That's what actually is education. The reason why I'm starting off with education is because my parents often tell me that, okay, mostly my mother, she's usually like, you refused to finish school. And I'm like, I keep quiet. Like you could hear crickets, because what was the purpose of going to school, finishing, let's say you've gone to school. Where the hell is this? Yeah. You've gone to school. You've completed, let's take the minimum 3 years for a diploma. Degree, undergrad, you call it whatever. You've done this. After you've finished, no jobs. And if there are jobs, you don't know how to get a job. If you don't know how to get a job, then how are you supposed to be surviving? It's kind of crazy. And this actually might lead to a couple of things. Number one, the thing that it might lead to is, I don't want to say it like this because it will seem like I am. Well, let me just say it. There'll be a lot of idling. You'll be idling because you have nothing to do. Yeah. If you have nothing to do, what is the end result? You'll be an idler. You don't know. You don't even know how to set your goals, or what. You don't know how, or you don't even know what you want. What? WH80. Why the hell am I writing broken English? So it's in the lines of this. If you're idle, you haven't even set goals for yourself, and it'll even lead to like forming groups, because while you're with this group, that's when you'll want to talk about how you'll go forward in life, how you'll put yourself from this other position to this other position, unless you're not ambitious. But if you get to a point where you're in groups, you can be easily influenced in either doing their I don't want to say the right thing, either doing things that will help you in life or things that will destroy you in life. Yes, ideally this is actually what we'll be focusing on at the moment. How not to be idle, how to set your goals, to know what you want, and groups. Although we've already discussed this, what you want, how to get what you want, if you don't know what you want or don't know how you're going to get what you want, we've already discussed this in an episode on the podcast, and I even have a blog in reference to it. We'll go over it in just a bit. So, personally, I am not the type of person who wants to be employed, but I've helped 1, 2, 3 individuals who've already gotten employed and they're working and currently earning. And since I have this knowledge and it's practically useless for me, I was thinking, why don't I share it? Yeah. And if it can't help me, why shouldn't it help another person out there? I was thinking on solely focusing this on guys in my country, but it got to a point that got me thinking, maybe, just maybe, I might not be helping the man to its to his full extent. That's how I ended up deciding I'll not just say this is for people in my country. It's for this one person, not many, this one person who wants to get from point A to point Z. He wants to be very, very successful in his endeavors and all of that. So, like I said, this episode for today, it's solely about taking the guy from one position to another. I think it's reasonable. Anyways, let's get going to idling your goals, whatever. So we'll start with, what do you want? Do you want? Why am I saying what do you want? This is simply because if you don't know what you want, you have no idea where you're going, where you're coming from. You'll know where you're coming from, but you'll have no idea where you're going. So, why am I saying what do you want? A person who doesn't know his or her destination can never get lost, because all the time they'll be going in the right direction. Why am I saying right direction? Because they don't know where they're going. But if you know where you're going, I'm sorry, I can't talk and write at the same time. So if you know where you're going, then you'll know if you're not there, and you will always be redirecting yourself to get there. I hope you get what I'm saying, yeah? If you know this is your end result and you don't get it, it'll guide you in the sense that you'll know I want to get from this point to this point, and if I'm in between, I'll redirect myself to go on this point. Kind of like when you're searching something that you know where it is in the dark. If you put your hand somewhere you think it is and it's not there, you'll automatically change the position of your hand. It's like you'll be changing the position to get your desired result. If I say this is my small tool here, I know it's on my desk somewhere and I don't want to look at it while I'm searching for it. I'll move my hand in the dark until I feel, yes, this is what I'm looking for. Hence, know what you want. But, number one, if you don't know what you want, or what you want, you have no people around you who people you have no people around you who emulate the certain desires that you have, or nobody around you has these sets that you want. Like nobody has, let's say financially, nobody has your financial goal, or nobody is going towards that specific goal that you desire for yourself financially. Then look at what people are doing. Actually, I heard this from Al Nightingale. If nobody around you has the exact results that you desire, I'm going to say this, common. If everybody around you does not have the results that you desire, look at what the common people around you are doing and don't do it. This is what Al Nightingale said. I think it was one of his lectures. Lock something. I'll look for it, then maybe put a link down on the description. Anyways, at this point, teenagers will be like, yes, 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 but that's not what I mean. For for this, I'm talking about in financial goals. In let me not go so far. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about relationship health, financial health, mental health. This is what I'm talking about. If anyone around you doesn't have these three sets, look at what they're doing and don't do it, because it's not your end goal. And mind you, I'd like to say this before we continue. Personally, I am a family man. Why am I saying I'm a family man? Because I believe that the joy in life comes with family. Yes, there's these other sets of joys, but the main one is family. This is from my own personal selfish experience. If yours is different, then well and good. And if you're a guy and you're listening to this, I'm sure you'll get out of here with a lot of value. And before we continue, if you've gotten to this point and you're still listening, hit that subscribe button, because there's a lot more coming. Anyways, let's continue. Look at what everyone around you is doing, and simply do not do it. Don't do what everyone around you is doing, because they're not getting the results that you're doing. It sounds so basic, but it's 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 just something else on its own. So if they're not doing that, then go ahead and do this. This is step 2. This is 1. Step 2, this is step 2. Step 2 is get exposed. Once you're exposed, you'll know this is what you don't want with guarantee. After you know this is what you don't want, then it'll be easier for you to navigate to what you want. Kind of like the automatic navigation system that your mind has when you're looking for a pen on top of the table when it's dark or something of the sort. Now that you've completed step 1 and step 2, step 3 will be implementation. This is just do it. And I noticed this for some of the guys that I've met in the office. If someone maybe is a web developer, they've spent like 4 years till they graduate, then they go to a startup. After getting to a startup, let me tell you this, if you go to a startup and you're a developer, they don't consider front end, they don't consider back end, they just consider you as a developer. So you do everything, you do front end, you do back end. At the same time, all this, they don't think of UX, UI. They have no concept of let's say that I'd like to say, let me pick DevOps. They have no concept of this. This is just DevOps is someone who deploys things to the web. UX UI is someone who designs the views but never really codes. Yeah, the purpose of that person is just to design the view and something of the sort. So for startups, they don't consider all this. They just, as long as you give them results, they care about if the website is up. They care about like, are we getting the results that we desire? That's usually how startups work. And if you get to do all this, this is I want to say ideally, this will help you grow because you get exposed. But at the end of the day, at the same time, you don't actually get to grow on the side that you would like to grow. What usually happens is that you end up just being overwhelmed, and that's if you're working. And there are those people who don't have work and they've gone that 4 years, and they're doing nothing with the skill, so they have nothing to show apart from the certificate in school. And there's no such thing, no bad thing as having a certificate, and it's utterly and completely useless for you. So let me wrap this off with this. Actually, I believe this is the one set of important thing that you go. This will be in assumption that you personally have gone out your way. You don't have skill. By skill, I mean you're not a web developer, you're not a lawyer, you're not doing law, you're not a doctor. You don't have this certificate skill, a skill that they say you require a certificate. You need to look at what's happening around you, then pick one set of one thing that you see is quite profitable. Because if you're doing, like, let's say a cleaner's job, it's not that lucrative, simply because at the end of the day, for him to be replaced, it's easy. And if it's easy to replace a cleaner, and your financial goals is to earn more than a web developer or earn more than a lawyer, you have to get a set of skill, because people get paid on the presumed value that they bring to the table. People don't get paid for their time. So if you check this well, people who are getting paid for their value are usually the people with a lot of money. So look at it this way: you develop a skill, this skill will be valuable. Why am I saying this? The skill will be valuable to the extent that um, people will just want to come to you because your skill is really valuable to them. I can give you a good set of skill. A lawyer will go, let's say, 7 years. This is for school. Same case with a doctor. 7 years. But this doctor is not getting paid because of the time they spent in school. They're getting paid for the value that they bring. But sadly, in my country, doctors aren't getting paid that much. Aren't getting paid that much. But you seek a skill that's valuable. And ideally, the one set of skill that I've come to understand that is like highly valuable in the current date and age in people's businesses is a skill of having traffic. What do I mean by traffic? When I say traffic, I mean one thing, yeah. Traffic is you can bring a group of people into someone's business. If you're able to move traffic this way, then each and every business owner will value you. Yes, this is actually a skill that's completely free, because take it this way: someone will open a YouTube channel, then you find the account grows from 0 subs to, let's take a low number, 5k subs. Okay, since this one has 5k subs, if they drive these 5k people to this set of business, then that means they have value to give to the business owner. And I'd really like to go on, but I understand people's attention span is about 0 to 30 minutes. So I'll be having another video, preferably tomorrow. From tomorrow, I'll be talking more on skills. So Mark your calendars at around 12 East African time, EAT. This is PM. We'll be having another video. We'll be continuing from once you get traffic, and we'll not be talking about just YouTube. After that, we'll be talking about adding value to any set of business. This is just the basics, foundations. Once everyone has these foundations, you'll see how you can move from this industry to the next industry to the following industry, and it'll, let's say, open up your mind to the world outside. Anyways, that's all for today, folks, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 12 p.m. East African time. So set your calendars. And if you've watched up to here and you're not subscribed, hit the sub button and hit the notification bell to get informed